just don't give up. Keep trying. Try one technique. If it doesn't work with your parenting style and doesn't work for your children's personality and your one, try it again in a different way. Third time, fourth time. Really avoid shopping with them in supermarkets or maybe anything to do with like swimming pools and stuff on my own. Because realistically, most of the time, I'm on my own with both of them. But if I were to say, I can't do shopping with them, that's it, I'm not going to do it, I would have never learned or got to a stage where I can actually go shopping with them and be content about it and actually really enjoy it and for it to be an actual outing with them. Actually, saying that, my mum used to take us to Safeway. I don't even know if people remember Safeway. That used to be our outing back in the day. Me and my siblings go Safeway. I really don't know to ask my mum actually. I really don't know how she did it. I had some really not so easy times with shopping with them. I could have just said no, but no, I tried so many times, had a lot of bad experiences, and now I can actually enjoy it. Let me give you a tip when you're going shopping. Number one, actually keep them stuck in a trolley or even a pram. I've actually got a technique for holding a trolley and a pram. The other thing with shopping, actually, just get crisps or whatever that you're going to buy and then give it to them to eat while they're there. I've said this before and I'll just keep saying it. I don't know what it is when they're eating crisps and I don't know what it is when they're just eating but they stay. I don't know what the magic is. Get them to pick the stuff out for you. So I think we speak so much about children, we make it out like they're like dinosaurs. We don't understand them. They're coming from me. But really, I got slapped in the middle of Valencia back in the day when people used to roam the streets by Emilia. I'm not even joking, a proper like push right on my face. Did I mind? Not really. Did I learn? For me, I know that we had just landed in Valencia. She didn't have a good sleep. I woke her up at 2 a.m. She went to sleep at 7. We get to the airport to catch a flight. And then after that, we went to Valencia and then there was just like a whole problem with the apartment. Anyway, that's another story. But what did I learn? I learned that the first day of any holiday needs to be the simplest for us to actually enjoy it. So did I get a lesson out of it? Yes. Did I get it just from that one time in Valencia? No. I got that lesson because I went on a staycation from London to somewhere in the UK. I experienced that agitation or that crankiness on the first day. And I know now, after not once, twice or 3 times taking them out, that the first day is the most simplest. Anyway, that's a whole new video. That's a video all about holidays and like taking them, which maybe like 5 years time might be relevant. 5 years, maybe. Somebody told me this when I was doing my teacher training. Whatever you're feeling, do the opposite of it. So if you feel like you're about to shout, do the opposite. Just stay completely quiet. And it worked. I was doing my teacher training. I went to a school and they were like, oh, you shout, la, la, la. I was like never really a shouter. And I tried it. The school with it all just laughed at me. But I know I'm not really, I can't shout. I just look like a complete idiot. And I don't really benefit anything from it. It just doesn't help me. So I know that doesn't really work for me. Whenever I'm really feeling kind of like super angry, I mean, whenever I'm feeling... So when I'm feeling like I really want to shout, I'll do the opposite. I will stay completely silent. In fact, I'll be annoyed, but silent. And in my head, this is so weird. You know, in movies, like the one with Jennifer Lopez and her mother-in-law, I think it's actually called Mother-in-Law. And then you get a scene where she holds her mother-in-law's head, then she just bangs it. And then you're like, whoa, she proper went there. And then the next scene, she was just dreaming it. Things in movies just come from reality, they must do. So times when I've been like really angry, I'll stay quiet and in my head I'm playing like me shouting at them. Me shouting, I told you 100 times, sit down, do this. And I don't know what it is when it played. I feel so much calmer, as if I've done, oh, Jennifer Lopez moment. Afterwards, I don't really get the guilt of shouting them. And I've noticed, I don't know if it's because I'm not really a shouter. When I do, or when I actually have shouted before, she would get super like, I mean, I've done it. We all have hormones. I don't know. Just doesn't really like it. She just can't stand shouting. And I do quite like that, because it kind of puts me into place as well. And now I just know it's not going to benefit me or them in any way whatsoever. In fact, it's just going to put it down. But I should save this for the kids one, for a video on the kids rather than the mothers. But the times where I've told her to do something and we're outside, I've told her to do something, she hasn't done it, and she's maybe escalating a bit. Sometimes they like to be a bit more showy when people are around, or when children in particular are around. Do the opposite of what you would do. Just, I kneel down to her and I'm literally like this. Emilia, I'm going to tell you this once only. Put your shoes on and we're going. Okay? Did you get scared? Because that's how I speak to her sometimes. And I'm not joking. That definitely works. What really helped me with my path is to be really mindful of the small/big moments that caused a real downer in the day, or just really wound me up. I feel like I'm one of those people where when they reach right to the end and they're just like, I'm done. That's when I'm just like, whoop, this is what's going to happen. This. And that really comes from, like, I don't even want to call them the bad days. The not so great days is what I used to write in my notes when I used to have the not so great days, because I didn't want them to repeat. But at the same time, if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have been quicker and snappier in certain situations. Not leaving the house on time. I'll have maybe a set target depending on the age that she's at and the situation that I'm facing. And every time I would come across something like that, I would find out what other people are doing. I would research. I would look up videos. There was a time when she was just biting all the time, like biting and hitting. And then I researched that, and then that was just my target, to get her not to. And like, there was this video where somebody said, if they're doing that all the time, just have zero tolerance. You say it once, if you do this, we're going to leave. And then as soon as they do it, you leave. You don't even need to speak. You just take them and then you go. Another video. And then another time it was leaving the house. Leaving the house for me was quite a big one, especially because I had under two, and there was just so much to pack, and that was just, by the time we'd leave, I found that if it takes me longer than 2 hours, I'm just knackered. So I need to leave the house 2 hours straight after I woke up with them. The way I did that is because I started to become a lot more mindful of the way the day was going, so, and what time, and I really wanted to like get into some kind of routine, but I wasn't really good at it. So I saw so many different people's routines, and I took bits from there and there and there, and things that worked for me, and then I had stuff that failed, so then I found different ways. So all these things, it's part of the fact that you're going on a journey. You're not expecting to be there, but you know how they say you just enjoy the journey until you get that. That is really it. Now I've come to a stage in my life where I've acknowledged that not everything has to be done like right now. Not everything has to be a certain way or no way. But I've come to terms with the fact that it all comes down to everything being its own journey. And I'm not even talking about parenting. I'm talking about anything really. Meal preps, having techniques when it comes to dealing with people, relationships, life, friendships. Everything is a journey. You're always learning. A whole journey is a build-up of what kind of parent you're going to be. So when I first had her, I literally had no idea what kind of parent I'm going to be. I kind of like knew certain things. I used to just imagine if it was me in her situation, how I would feel and what I would need. There's maybe an end goal, and then you're reaching that. But the journey itself, the mistakes that we do, the good days, the bad days, they're always there to learn. The bad days, boy, have I learned a lot from. And in fact, I've learned so much more from my bad days with my children than my good days. I mean, I've learned from the good days because I know what works and I can then filter it into. Our parents were on journeys, their parents were on journeys. They didn't have the access to the information that we have right now, where we can look at different techniques and pick stuff and choose other ones. I mean, for me, timeout just doesn't work. I'll put her on timeout and then I'll take it. She'll be like, yeah, that's it, that's fine. Doesn't work at all. But what I've taken from timeout is that last part where they say sorry, they give you a kiss and a hug. That's what I've taken from it. But the actual sitting down for a certain period of time, no. Doesn't work for my personality, and I feel like because it doesn't work for me, it doesn't work for them, but it might work for somebody else. In fact, it works for gazillion people. So many people like that tech. Thanks. Bye.